Lesson 48. Let's begin with our first word, audible. A useful phrase to remember is audible sounds. If something is audible, it is loud enough to be heard. A whisper might not be audible in a noisy room. A speaker at a concert must be loud enough to make their voice audible to the audience. The phrase audible sounds is used when talking about noises that can be heard clearly. Now, let's look at controversial. A helpful phrase for this word is controversial issue. If something is controversial, it causes debate or disagreement. Politics, religion, and social topics are often controversial because people have different opinions about them. A new law might be controversial if some people support it and others strongly oppose it. The phrase controversial issue is used when talking about a topic that leads to arguments or mixed opinions. Next, we have eventual. A good phrase to remember is the eventual result. If something is eventual, it happens in the end, after a process or a long time. If you keep practicing, your eventual success is almost guaranteed. The eventual result of exercising regularly is a stronger and healthier body. The phrase, the eventual result, is used when talking about something that happens after a period of time or effort. Let's move on to grotesque. An example phrase is grotesque mask. If something is grotesque, it is very ugly or distorted in an unnatural way. A grotesque statue might have exaggerated features that make it look strange or frightening. In horror movies, grotesque creatures often appear with twisted faces and scary shapes. The phrase grotesque mask is used when describing a mask that looks bizarre or terrifying. Now let's talk about inquire. A useful phrase is inquire about the suspect. To inquire means to ask questions or try to get information. A customer might inquire about the price of an item before buying it. Detectives inquire about a suspect to gather details about a crime. The phrase inquire about the suspect is used when talking about asking questions to learn more about a person involved in an investigation. Next, we have maturity. A great phrase for this word is show some maturity. Maturity means being fully grown, both physically and emotionally. A child throwing a tantrum shows a lack of maturity, while an adult making responsible decisions shows strong maturity. The phrase show some maturity is used when encouraging someone to act in a more responsible or grown-up way. Let's move on to officially. An important phrase to remember is officially suspended. If something is done officially, it is done with authority or in a formal way. A player might be officially suspended from a game for breaking the rules. A business may officially announce its opening date in the newspaper. The phrase officially suspended is used when talking about a formal decision to stop someone from participating in something. Now, let's discuss proclamation. A phrase to associate with this word is Emancipation Proclamation. A proclamation is an official public announcement. The Emancipation Proclamation was an order by President Lincoln that freed enslaved people in the United States. Governments issue proclamations to declare holidays or new laws. The phrase Emancipation Proclamation is used when talking about the historical document that helped end slavery in America. Next, we have stability. A useful phrase is economic stability. Stability means being steady, balanced, and not changing suddenly. A stable bridge is strong and does not shake. If a country has economic stability, prices and jobs remain steady without big problems. The phrase economic stability is used when talking about a country's financial situation being secure and not in crisis. Finally, let's talk about vague. A helpful phrase is vague idea. If something is vague, it is unclear or not specific. If someone gives a vague answer, it means they didn't explain clearly. A person with a vague idea about a topic only understands it a little bit, not fully. The phrase vague idea is used when talking about an unclear or not well-defined thought or plan. That's the end of Lesson 48. Keep practicing these words and phrases to build your vocabulary and confidence.